So first of all, hello everyone. Thanks you, Rushab, and your team at Frappe for hosting this event and creating this great software, which has helped us a lot in the past. I'll get right to my presentation. Subject will be building a business with ERPNext's help. My name is Wolfram Schmidt. I'm a co-founder of Tüit in 2015. We are a company focusing on IT services and administration with a heavy focus on open source software. Now in 2021, we are a team of 10 plus people, and we started out with 3. So when we got into building this business, we all came out of the area and we knew we needed a toolbox to be able to handle our day-to-day business. Our day-to-day business heavily relies on issue tracking, time tracking, configuration management, which I'll get into in a second. A lot of documentation and invoicing to make some money with the business. So CMDB configuration management database is basically a database in which you can store all your IT elements. You can see some infrastructure items, some end user items like phones and PCs, and also software applications. There is software around where you can visualize the whole thing to quickly find and solve issues. So in the first iteration of our business growth, we found tools for all these demands we had for issue tracking. That was OTRS. That also had a time tracking feature built in. CMDB we covered with Excel sheets where we would recall our IP addresses, host names, MAC addresses, and so on. For documentation, we would very early use DocuWiki, which is a basic markdown wiki docu program. And we would just use simple Word documents for invoicing. In the second iteration, we found a system which is called iTop, that were also the pictures you just saw on the CMDB. That also had a time tracking feature and was very good at CMDB, or still is. The software still exists. And also through the linking of all these items, you have a kind of documentation on the go. And this was also supported by DocuWiki. Invoicing we further did via Word documents. From that, this was maybe 2 years in the company. Where we found ERPNext. Back then, we looked for ERPNext, especially because of time tracking. That wasn't ideal, the way it was, coming from clock times with a customer going to the invoice. So we started to use ERPNext. We used it for issue tracking, just the support module with its issues. We used time tracking, the timesheets in the project module. For CMDB, we further used iTop. As documentation, we had iTop and DocuWiki, and the invoices now also came directly from the projects within ERPNext. In the fourth iteration, we kept using all these tools on ERPNext, and in the meantime had built our own custom app called IT Management App, which I'll get into in a minute, which was able to link all these parts together. For documentation, we further used DocuWiki and also looked into a new system called Bookstack, which is similar though. So for us, ERPNext was a one-for-all system, definitely a winner on the list. The integration of IT management with the issue tracking, with the time tracking in projects, with the invoicing, sped up our process a lot because we have everything linked together. Documentation can be done basically on the fly whilst you're working on these items. You'll do your documentation, which helps give transparency to your colleagues and to your customers. Also, linking communication like emails helps a lot. And view on how IT management app works. Basically, you have this IT management table, which you can add into any issue or task inside your project. And you just build a checklist of what you need to do. In this example, you can see configuration, other accounts linked, and you can add a remark and add a checkbox at the end. What happens in the background, we take this phone, for example. This is just a regular IP phone. And in the top, sorry, this is German. And the top, you can see all the links. So you can see it's linked to software instances, to user accounts. It's linked to an issue, and it's linked to 2 tasks in a project. So this makes identifying items very, very easy, and also having a good memory in the system. I can see with which project this phone was implemented within a customer. So ERPNext, we've been working with ERPNext for, we've been working with ERPNext about 5 years now. And just over time, we built up a lot of knowledge about the product, building the own custom app. I personally was active a lot on the Discuss forum, working with the community, working with other partners, training employees on the product from a user perspective and also from a developer perspective. And in 2017, we had our first customer with ERPNext. And we now notice that it's a growing business and a higher demand, and decided to open an own department on the matter. So with building an own department, you get conflict in interest. You notice that implementing ERPNext systems is something completely different to maintaining IP phones in a network system. And after a short period of time, we noticed that it would make sense to move this department on its own ERP system. We are aware that you can use a department on ERPNext, but we just had some technical issues, so we thought it would probably be cleaner if we just start from scratch on a new system. How did we solve all that? So we thought about where we're actually standing after 6 years into the business. We have built a company for IT systems administration that works very well, works sufficiently. And with finding this new department and a new product, we thought to ourselves, ask these questions. Do we have a product? Do we have a team? Do we have customers? And is there an opportunity to go for? Now, from an entrepreneurial, we can give these all a yes. We are able to do that, and thought to ourselves, we might just use this department to simulate a new company. So what we did, we went up to Frappy Cloud, which now allows German hosting, and quickly set up a site in hours, did the basic configuration, and started customizing the system on the site for our ERPNext business needs. We did the documentation on changes inside doc types and so on this earlier stated software book stack, basically a user manual on the side. We merged existing data, which we needed for supplying our customers, for example, customers and their contacts. And what we now do is this simulated customer basically invoices Tüit itself. Work is done and jobs are finished. We noticed this was a process of maybe 30 days that we got our ERPNext department onto this new system. We asked ourselves if this could be done any quicker. Yes, with enough planning, you could probably use the API of the system to quickly synchronize things like customers or contacts, and maybe even just back up one system and restore it on a new instance and clear out all the data that you don't need for this new job. Looking back on our Tüit history, we noticed using less products is more. So one main focus of our work at Tüit is actually maintaining all these systems with our customers. It's probably 900 software products that we support in one way or another. And it has a high demand of resources, which you can cut down very vastly if you use one product like ERPNext. We were able to build our custom app for our industry, which is very, very often needed just to sort of cover one certain aspect of your work. We have great advantages of data in one place. And we've grown in these 6 years from 3 to 10 people and more, as I've stated earlier, and we were able to double our revenue from 2019 to 2020 with the help of ERPNext. Why? Because we have everything in one spot. If we need to make a warranty claim of, for example, one of those IP phones that we saw earlier, you'll be able to identify the phone very, very quickly and won't be looking for some kind of emails or invoices and so on. So looking into the future, we are thinking about taking this ERPNext department and building its own business, just to sort of sharpen profile and keep going for a clear view, as stated in earlier talk. Also, we will further optimize our CMDB process via the IT management app that is also available on GitHub and has already gotten some community feedback. We'll further grow and branch out. So this one department, a new company, is obviously an opportunity to do that again at some other point or some other department if it makes sense. And also we'll be sharing this IT management app on frappicloud.com marketplace in the future, and would be happy to see some further people use it. Here's some sort of lessons learned from the journey over these past 6 years, where ERPNext really helped us to understand that. Focus on your product and customers to quote, sell, build and deliver, and invoice. Everything else is sort of bloat in one way or another around it. And if you're able to focus on these things, you'll get your business running very quickly. To get your business to run quickly and smoothly in these days, with we have the code, you have to pop in and out of home office every now and then. It's very helpful to have very powerful tools, and I'd say ERPNext is one of the most powerful tools around to do so.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That was my presentation.
Thanks, Wolfram, for the talk. very insightful how you started your journey as a user and then eventually become partner. I think that's the most organic way experience it yourself. So thanks, and it will be great to see you becoming partner in future. Thanks very much.
Very much looking forward to.
Yes, your story was very inspiring, Wolfram. Thank you.
Any questions?
Are there any?
Okay, thank you all, and thank you for hosting this conference. See you all soon.